And there we are. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Welcome everyone. Glad to have you on board on this lovely Sunday, October 23rd of 2022. There we go. And Sue Hayes says, hi Doc, I hear you. Excellent, that is good. The man of the show, it's Dr. Fox 2000. Thank you, Colin. And yeah, and hi to Sasha as well. Glad to be here, everyone. And it is a wonderful, lovely day here in Edmonton. A little bit on the cold side. Actually had some ice in the bunny water this morning, so we know it's freezing during the night now. So no longer, I guess, are we going to get frost. We definitely got it already. So that's kind of what we've got going on. Although it is warming up here a little bit, and that is always nice and welcome. And hopefully it will stay a little bit on the nicer side for a few more days. They did say it was supposed to snow here this afternoon or evening, and I don't think it is. I think it's going to be Tuesday before we see that white flaky stuff come in here. Yep. And yes, Hermione, that's exactly what it is. And speaking of Hermione and Fluffy, they are the first ones in today. So there's your cookies, Hermione and Fluffy. And hopefully you'll enjoy them. And that's all cool. And let's see, we'll say hi to our wonderful moderators. I don't see any of them yet, but I'm sure they're kicking and doing their thing. So welcome to Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, and Joseph Fields Official, Lucas Snow, and possibly Gary, 24/7 Live, AZ Skies. And right now they apparently are all hiding in the background. So we're all good. Not too worried though. Not that many people in here yet. Anyway, we've only got, 25 right now. So not really time to start yet. But hey, we're going to go run through the names, say hi to everyone, and then we will go from there. And kind of highlights of the day here. What's shaken is the opportune word for Iceland. And we'll talk about that shortly. Anyway, what a mix of sun and breeze and rain and snow and what else, Henry? I think you got them all covered. Anyway, Henry Nelson is here, as well as Sophie. Welcome. Russell Brainerd also here. Sue Hayes on board. Of course, Hermione Schaefer, who got the cookies. King Colin Deadman, welcome. And then we've got Canadaska's Country, who's down in Swift Current. And, you know, Swift Current is not really known for a river. It's actually the air flowing by. And it is very quick, windy area there. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea why they call Swift Current. But it is windy. Anyway, John Raper is also here, and Lizoid made it in. Snowing in Colorado. Oh boy, don't go there unless you want snow. And let's see, who else we got in here? We got Adele, welcome back. John Raper's here, welcome. And going up the ladder some more, looking for other wonderful names. Sasha is in the house. Welcome, Sasha. Glad to have you here. And let's see, who else we got? Scrolling up more and more and more, looking for other fine names. And we got Lizoid already. We got Hermione, we got Sasha, got Sue. Connie Tyree, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And let's see, going up a little more, looking for other wonderful names in this wonderfully chatty bunch. OFU Lux from Luxembourg flew in just for the show. Awesome. And Storm Chaser 1211, welcome back. Let's see, who else we got? James Gipe, thumbs up. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. And I've nailed a few of your shows after hours there too, so all cool. Hey, Do Free is here. Welcome back, Do Free. Glad to have you on board. Looking for more wonderful names. And getting very close to the top. I am at the top. I think I've probably gone through 25 names. Anyway, in case I didn't say hi to you, you can always yell at me at the bottom here. I try to say hi and greet everyone. So if you're all part of that lava family, of course, we enjoy having you here. And all that good. It's Jairus. Jairus? Did I miss Jairus? Welcome, Jairus. Where'd Jairus go? And we got Trevor T. Winky Wonky Donkey. Almost missed him as well. That's an awful long name. Welcome, Sharon Stewart and Jairus, of course. Kevin Williams also here, as I'm looking for other names like Kirst Chaplin. Welcome back. And I think I should be good and safe for right now. If I didn't say your name, like Ann Walsh, you can always yell at me. And welcome, Ann. Glad to have you here. Okay, so yeah, of course, we're watching some canned lava from back in August from the 11th. And the reason I actually popped it back on there is because we do have some interesting stuff to talk about in Iceland. First, we'll take a quick look around and just see what it's like there right now. Just trying to get to the right spot here to pause my lava, and we'll stop it in mid-track, and we'll turn that off for now. There we go. So this is the view of, let's get rid of that little banner too. There we go. That is what we're seeing right now there in Reykjavik, capital city of Iceland. Here's the other view, and it looks pretty quiet and not too bad. When we looked earlier, the weather wasn't all that bad for them. Actually, I think they had a fairly nice day, all things considered. Hey, Lizoid, wow, that's a wonderful way to start off the show, and thank you very kindly, Lizoid. Awesome super chat of $20. That is really cool. Really do appreciate that, Lizoid, and that is very kind of you. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Yeah, just looking. Who had the Shakers? No, I'm just looking at who's got the sideways house there, Hermione. No worries. Anyway, so yeah, Iceland. That's what it's looking like right about, I don't know, 7 hours ago. If we go back a little bit more to about 11 hours ago, give you a little bit more of an idea. And it was a little bit cloudier, and it did clear up for them somewhat. And so back to the 7.5 hours ago, they did get some sunshine, which is really nice. The annoying bird you hear in the background, and that, of course, is a blue jay. For all of you who don't know what a blue jay call sounds like, you think magpies are bad? Try a blue jay. Anyway, that is kind of what we were seeing there. Same thing on the other one. When we go back a ways, it is actually a pretty nice view there. And unfortunately, a little bit of cloud up on the top of the hills there, so you can't see. But there is a little bit of snow up there, unfortunately. And you can see some of that snow in the background here as well. But for the most part, doesn't look too bad. And most of that little fluffy stuff that they got did get kind of cleared off a bit, if you will. Anyway, I'm going to put that one back on live, and we're going to go over to the other one that we like looking at, and that's over by Katla. And depending on when we catch it, we'll catch the rainbows as well. And there's a rainbow. I like it, and that looks kind of neat. But the clouds, of course, are hiding the ice fields. Katla is sitting behind there, and we're unfortunately not seeing it right now. That rainbow changed locations too. If we go ahead a little bit further, let's see, there was where it was a little better at other times, depending on how the cloud was situated there. So you notice it moved back a little bit, and then later on it was over here for a while. Let's see if we can get that back over there. Maybe we can't, but anyway, yeah, unfortunately it was hiding in the clouds. We can't see Katla in the background, but oh, there it is. There's the rainbow. Quick, I'm gonna take a picture. Okay, got the picture. All right. So yeah, that's kind of nice to see you guys, and pretty awesome. So that is what they had out there today at Katla in Iceland. And of course, that is a little closer to the shaking area, and we'll get at that shortly here. I'm going to put this one back to live just so I know where it is. And there we go. And now we'll pop over to the harmonic tremor chart and have a quick peek and see what's happening there. Hey, Cookster Littlefield, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And I already said hi to Trevor. Let's see, who else snuck in here that I might have missed? And I can't see anyone right now. That's new, that is. I see all kinds of people, but no new ones. Okay, and let's find our stuff. Had to reboot today again, darn it. More updates, and this time was the browser. So everything is displaced again, and of course, I'm trying to fumble and find things. But anyway, here's our chart for right now. Actually, let's refresh it. Make sure it's up to date. There we go. And you do see two major spikes in here. Kind of makes you wonder what was going on. And then a bunch of smaller stuff as well. And we are on a downward trend right now. So things are going back down a little bit. And no, it's not going up. It's going down. Sorry, Sasha. I wish it was. Spikes of cause. Yep. Yeah, those spikes. I don't know. Sometimes we're going to show you what caused those spikes. It's kind of interesting. I'm really interested in this spike right here on the line. So that was just before midnight their time, and that one here was actually, because it's so far away and we know which sensor it was. It was the sensor over in Astja, and this one is really gone quite high, actually, considering how far it is away. Anyway, let's have a quick look at some of the other ones. And the ones that we are going to take a look at are Grimsey, which is right here. And we do see the same one at Grimsey. So that quake must have been awful big if it's all the way over to Grimsey, which is at the other end of the island. And that is quite a distance away, about 400 or 500 kilometers. So a long ways away. Anyway, this also is showing kind of a downward trend, I think, for the most part when we're looking at it. But they did not have as much activity there from about noon onward. It got a little bit on the quiet side, which is probably good for them. But that is what we're seeing there. Rusty Bolts, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And Dave Crook, good to see you again. Welcome back. Let's go have a look at Grindevik's chart. And looking at our big spike, it's a little bit shorter here at the Grindavik site, so probably further away. But we do see the other two in here as well. And it is almost like steady as she goes for Grindavik. And right now, I don't think it's going anywhere major up or major down at all from that area. Anyway, I'm going to slide that back up to Fraggart al Fjall, and some of them, as we're going by, we notice that spike just before midnight quite well in some of those other ones. This one right off the top, which is kind of interesting. Same with this one, just about. But there's Fragerfjell. That's all cool. Let's go over to the earthquake map, have a quick look, and you can probably see already where the issue is. And of course, let's have a look. Actually, let's take a look first. We see a 2.5 way up top here. 6.5 kilometers down, 5:08 a.m. was the time on that 2.5. If we zoom in, this is Grimsey, the island, and that is what we were seeing on most of the chart there with the ones before noon. Some of the other ones are fairly quiet, so they're not going to be showing up there. Anyway, this one was 22 minutes after midnight, 2.05, 10.005 kilometers down for that one. We've got a 1.3 right there. I thought it was the 1.5. I clicked on a 11.1 kilometers down. It was actually yesterday's at 21:33. And let's just check randomly here some other ones. 4:19 a.m. we had a magnitude 0.78 from 10.495 kilometers down. Let's break them up a little bit and look for some of the newer ones and some of the older ones. 1.5 there, 11.2 kilometers down, 9:04 a.m. for him. This 1.3, 10.7 kilometers down from 1958 yesterday. This other 1.5, 1658, 10.3 kilometers down. And then we've got this 1.7 over here, 9.2 kilometers down, 9:37 a.m. And we've got a 1.3, and that is 9 kilometers down, came in at 20:06, a very fresh one there. And let's slide down a little bit more, see if they get a little bit more shallow. 0.98 and 9.4 kilometers down from 1457 for that guy. That is not very shallow. This one's a lot shallower. 5.1 kilometers down for this magnitude 1.6, and it was from 7:42 this morning. And from 4:19 a.m. we had a 1.2, 5.5 kilometers down, not too far away from that other one. Sliding down a little bit more, we see these are kind of grouped in those three groups again. Same thing as yesterday, so we're just going to hunt and peck a few out of here, see what kind of size and depth they are. 12:05 a.m. or p.m. I should say, and 1.52, 10.005 kilometers down for that one. Then we've got a 1.91, again same depth, and that is 4:27 a.m. Going down a little bit more, same depth. 1.13, and that is 4:25 a.m. for that one. These all seem to be at that same kind of age there. 5:11 a.m. and one in magnitude 5.2 kilometers down for him. This 1.8 is 3.4 kilometers down from 5:09 a.m. And remember what we were looking at there for Grimsey. Most of the ones that we were seeing were in the morning, most of that activity. Some of these other ones wouldn't have shown up because they're too far away or a little bit smaller. 1.4 there, 1.1 kilometers down, that one's a lot shallower. 1851 was the time on him. Let's see what these other ones have. Another 1.1 kilometers down for this 1.5 in magnitude, and it was at 4:23 a.m. Taking a look at this 2.8, also 1.1 kilometers down, 4:01 a.m. and 1.5, 5.7 clicks down, 23 minutes after midnight for that guy. Let's break these up a little and look. We'll try this 1.66, 10.005 kilometers down from 12:29. And that kind of gives us a little bit of an idea of what's going on right there. We'll grab a couple of these and just look. 1.1, 6.8 kilometers down from 1317 for him. This 0.33, 9 kilometers down, 8:35 this morning. And what else we got there? 0.58, 4.8 kilometers down, and 1:03 a.m. Let's take a look. This 0.7 here, 12.5 kilometers down, again quite deep, and that is from 1801. And let's slide down a little bit more. We do see a 1 over here, and that is it's only 100 meters down. Must have been some kind of a surface quake, and that is from 1906. But now we're getting into the juicy part here. And of course, this is Astja, okay, and Astja doesn't look like it's doing much right now. The big one is here, and this is this 4.05, 7.757 kilometers down, came in at 2311 yesterday, and that is a very sizable quake. And interesting to see that, though, and makes you wonder what the heck is going on. And you see how many quakes they had in that one area. And I know there's a volcano under there somewhere. And I'm sure we could actually find it. Let's do this, and we'll find out where that darn volcano actually is. And the volcano is here. So let's turn it back to the 24-hour thing, and see how many of those are right on top. Oh, actually they're not. So that is in a location where there is no volcano, and that is a little bit on the weird side. But as you can see, there are so many quakes in that area. It's very, very difficult to point out anything specific. And let's see if we can find some of them. 3.08, 7.2 kilometers down, 2156 for him. And let's grab this one here. No, this one. 2.1, 3.7 kilometers down, 6:08 a.m. 0.3 here, 5.4 clicks down, 1402. 1.85 from 1:16 a.m., 7.8 kilometers down for the 185. Then this 2.02, 8.5 clicks down, 5:02 a.m. Grabbing a few more over here, and that is a too small, 0.1 F. We don't need that. 2.9, 4.4 kilometers down, and that was at 6:41. Then we've got another 2.78, and that was 4.4 kilometers down, 8:32. Sliding up here a little bit, looking at this one, 2.82, 6.7 kilometers down, 2:15 a.m. We'll grab this 2 over here, 1.8 kilometers down, and that was at 1910. Another 2.1 in magnitude, and 2.9 kilometers down, 7:28 a.m. for him. And the list goes on and on and on. There are just literally hundreds of earthquakes in that little area alone. Is it possibility that there is an eruption that could happen there? Yes. Is it a possibility that this is just tectonic? Yeah, but when we start seeing so many quakes, there has to be something going on, right? There just has to be. And some of these are very shallow. We do have deep ones mixed in there as well. And it really, really makes a person wonder what the heck is going on. This 0.6 is only 1.1 kilometers down, and that it's at 1834. So let's do this. Let's just look at what we've got in the last hour and see how deep those are, if they're going shallow or not on us. 4.8 kilometers down for this 0.6, 1959. This one here is 3.7 kilometers down, 0.6 from 1929. 5.2 kilometers down for this 0.2. Really not worried about the time. It's within the last hour here. So 4.6 clicks down for this 0.5. And it's telling us these, most of this is happening down at the 5 kilometer mark right now. This one is a little shallower, 2.6 kilometers down for this 0.3, and from 1930. Then 2.8 clicks down for this 0.3, and so there's a couple of them a little bit shallower. These other ones all seem to be fairly deep, and I don't know. This one is shallower, 1.9 kilometers, and that is 0.5 from 1935. What about this 0.6? That's a little deeper again. So depending on where you are and what we're seeing, we do have a few. Here's a brand new one, 5.6 kilometers down, 2018, as fresh as you can get. I just got put on the list. So gives you a pretty good idea that, you know, they're there, but it's still too far away to get an actual eruption. Welcome to Alba Girl. How good to have you on board. And let's see. Oh, Mummy of Hamsters. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And did I miss anyone sneaking in? We got Cursed Chaplain earlier. And I'm just looking to see if Rusty Bolts. Welcome. And let's see. Hey, to the Doghouse DMC. Is Doghouse DMC in here as well? I missed him if he snuck in. But welcome anyway. Glad to have you guys on board and appreciate that. Tracy Bill's also here. Good to see you, Tracy. And anyway, what we see right around Astja, though. Oh, let's put it back on the 24-hour mark. And that way we see what we've got there at Astja. And of course, Astja is not this area. This is a different, slightly a different area. I don't know if it's considered part of the Astja system, but Astja, of course, being over here by itself, we see that it had a few small ones, nothing too serious. 9:15 a.m., 0.6, 1.7 kilometers down for him. 0.6, 7.2 clicks down from 1744, 0.5, and that was 2.8 clicks down at 1928. And looking in here, there we go, 0.24, 5.1 kilometers down from 2310, and that's 0, of course, 5.4 kilometers down from 1835. So is Astja gonna blow? No. I do not believe so, but we are definitely seeing stuff here, and maybe before the show ends we'll go back here, and what we'll do is we'll switch it back to that stuff so we can see what happened in the last hour kind of thing, so we get rid of some of those major ones in there, and then that way we can see what new quakes we had and if they are coming any more shallow. So right now the most shallow that we did see is, I do believe it was a 1.9 or something like that. Let's double check here. That one's 5.2, 5.2. There was a couple in here. This 3.7 was not one of them. 2.8 there. And which one is it? 2.1 for that 0. I know there was one here somewhere. 5.2, 5.2. We'll find them. 1.9. There we go. The point of 5, and it was 1.9. So if there's stuff that comes up higher than 1.9, that would indicate to us then that we've got some something coming up, some magma. Right now, I don't believe we do. But hey, it's what it is. Anyway, let's carry on and take a look and see what else we've got. We've got nothing around Grimsvatn right now. We do have some over here close to Bardabunga, and that is a couple of small ones here. 0.47, 1.2 kilometers down from 1121, and then we've got another 0.4, and that's only 500 meters down from 1121 as well. And is that going to mean an eruption? No, I don't think so. We have a couple more here, and those are over by the other guy. 1822 for this 0.7, and that's 600 meters down. Then we've got a 1.3 from 1756. That is 1 kilometer down. But I don't know. I don't think that's anything to panic about. And like I said, Grimsvatn has nothing around it. We have a 0.24 down on the bottom here, 2.7 kilometers down from 1 minute after 10 a.m. Right there at that particular one. And again, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but in that area anyhow, that would be very close to the coast. And Katla had a 1.41, 7.3 kilometers down. 1:32 a.m. is what we see there. That's Katla right there, the little green one. And then in between the one I can't pronounce and Katla is a one that was a magnitude 1, 5.2 kilometers down from 1753. And welcome, Arizona Snowman. Good to see you. And sliding over a little bit more, we do see a 3 over here. And I don't know, hang on, how far away from Hekla are we here? Hekla should be right there. Okay, Hekla is there, so yeah, they're not that far away from Hekla. But I don't think they're right associated with it. 135 meters down, 0.66 from yesterday at 23:32. This one a 0.69, 7.1 kilometers down, and that was 5:59 a.m. Now, I wanted to just comment, this 23:32 is when that other quake happened, the big 4.05. So that could be a reaction quake. This one came in at 23:04, and that is a 0.71, 6.9 kilometers down. And that would have, that other one would have shaken a lot of material, just to double check. It's at 23:11 is when it came in. So, you know, anything after that would have kind of been loose and shaken, and shaken but not stirred, I guess. Anyway, let's carry on here. Look at these other small ones. Nothing major, 0.98, 9 kilometers down, 6:57 a.m. for that guy. We've got this one from 11:41, 0.72, and that is 4.5 kilometers down. Sliding over a little bit closer to our wonderful area here in the Reykjanes Peninsula. A couple of these small ones we're going to pick up here. 4:20 a.m., 0.87, 7.7 kilometers down. And then we've got this one from 12:28, 0.76, 7.3 kilometers down for him. Really small one, 0.02, 6.6 clicks down. Yesterday's from 22:39. And we are moving on to the peninsula now. And looking at what we've got, and I like those in a way, but they should be over just a little bit more. If they were here, I'd be happier. Let's just look at these other ones. First, though, 0.85, 5.6 clicks down, 6 minutes after midnight for that one. 7 minutes after midnight, 0.7, 5.1 clicks down. This is 18 minutes after midnight, 4.49, sorry, 5.5 kilometers down. And then 0.4 from 18 minutes after midnight as well, 4.8 kilometers down. Then we have a 0.89, 5.2 kilometers down from 8:33 a.m. Over here at, this is Krusevik, and this is the closest one here. From 22:19 yesterday, 0.6, 5.5 kilometers down for that one. And looking here, 0.92, 4.2 kilometers down from 2:57 a.m. We also see this guy, 0.57, 5.3 clicks down, 8:45 a.m. And sliding over a little bit more. And of course, there is our Fragardalfjall area, and we are not seeing anything happening there. So Ragnar would be here, and Siggy Fisher is here. And if we look up top here, Kalir, and our area kind of tops out just before Kalir, and doesn't quite go this wide, so it would be somewhere in here, being its own little volcanic system. And we'll find out what this is all about. And of course, this is the town of Grindavik right here. We slide up the highway a little bit, and there you can see the Blue Lagoon and the power plant, and of course the hotel right there. And it seems to be over on the other side, and there's a few in here, so let's see what we can come up with. This one is a 2.61, 5.8 kilometers down from 1339. The 3.05. I've been dealing with too many small ones, right? 3.05, 6.2 kilometers down, 9:59 a.m. Actually 10 o'clock, okay? And then we've got a 1.94, 5.9 kilometers down, 10:03 for him. 1.55, 5.8 clicks down, 10:04. And this one here is at 1356.75, 5 kilometers down. The 1.2 down here, 5.6 kilometers down, and that was at 1343. Just check these out here. 0.26, 5.1 kilometers down from a 10:09 is the time on that. I don't think there's anything major or imminent there that's going to be bothersome or anything we need to worry about. All of them seem to be about 5 plus kilometers down. 10:04 seems to be a good time for them, but 1.5 there, and that's kind of what we're seeing for that little cluster. And not much else going on here. We got 0.1, 4.5 kilometers down for this guy from 1736, and we've got a 0.03, and that was from 2052 yesterday, from 2.98, or just about 3 kilometers down. And this one here is a 0.93, 6 kilometers down from 12:51 this afternoon. And this one here, 2107.55 in magnitude, 5.8 kilometers down for him. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what we are looking at there in Iceland. So it is shaking a bit, you guys, but so far we haven't seen anything really detrimental here. We've seen larger quakes on the land before, but definitely need to wonder, and we'll take another peek at it later. Like I said, if we cut it down to like a 1 hour shot, then we can see what is new, and we can go from there and just take a look at the depths of these and find out if we see anything coming up. If we see the depth coming up, then of course it will be kind of, Poppet is coming. Oh no, I'm yakking too much. Back on 24 hours. Oh, somebody's calling me Poppet. I don't want to get eaten. Poppet scratches. Poppet is mean. Okay, going here. No. Turn that on. There, lava. Make go lava. Lava go. And we'll turn that on. Okay. So on that friendly note, for all those good people who are here, if you are enjoying the show, please do hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. Also, if you're new, sitting on the sidelines, you want to chat with some of the fine people in here, please, by all means, hit that a subscribe button, and then 1 minute later, you'll be able to chat in the chat box with all the friendly lavaliers and wonderful people that are here. And welcome to, did I say hi to Sophie? Yes, I did. Mary Jane also here. Welcome. Glad to have you on board. Okay, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will take a 5-minute break or thereabouts, and then be back. Keep smiling, everyone, and thanks. And that microphone is back on. Welcome back, welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board here today. And of course, I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Thank you for the welcome backs from Albert Girl, Sue Hayes, and Sasha, and Kananaska's Country. Hey, Kananaska's Country, no exclamation mark in front of it, then it works every time. And thank you, Sharon Stewart, who says, I can hear you, Dr. Fox. And thanks, Dave and Hermione and Colin as well. Awesome. And okay, so yeah, the other spot I wanted to check out there, since we were looking at the bigger quakes. Usually when we see quakes like that, we have to kind of wonder what's going on. Is there something else in the area that might be causing it? And I did look to see what there was, and unfortunately I had to look on the other map since the USGS does not show it. But here's Iceland. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little better. I'm going to actually make that full screen here so we can zoom in a whole bunch, and there we go. So looking at what we've got here in Iceland, looks like they're showing three of them. The 3.2 from 7:44, and then we also have the 4.0 from yesterday at 23:11, and then the other one up here is a 2.8 that they're indicating from 4:01 a.m. From today. Now we also see a small quake out here at Jan Mayen, and that is 2.1. And then if we go up, we see up here at Svalbard, we see another one at 2.8, and that happened at 7:46 for that 2.8, 23 kilometers down. This one here was at 2:06 a.m., so well after the other one. And it seems to me like that is some kind of a succession here, where it went from all this stuff that we had out front, it finally moved through. We ended up getting one here, then there, and then it carried on through the mid-Atlantic ridge as the plate is turning. So one or the other one is moving a little bit. And of course, this is the Eurasian plate and the North American plate we're referring to. And we're seeing the quakes on kind of both sides of the plate, so hard to tell which one is really chugging along there, but that is kind of what we're seeing in that area. Let's get this back to normal size, and we'll carry on with our other stuff that we were going to look at here. And of course, taking you to the Azores, which is a little further south, down on that same mid-Atlantic ridge. And of course, there you see the island of Sao George is what we're on. And of course, they call it Sao Jorge is the Portuguese name for it, if I said it correctly. Anyway, small town right there. The harbor lights, for those who aren't familiar with that picture, we do have this to give you a better idea. Daytime shot. And there's the harbor down in front, and the little town area. And of course, you can see the island that is across the strait there. And of course, that is Pico Volcano, also referred to as Mount Montana on Pico Island. And if you're looking at just in the wee north portion there on the right-hand side, you can actually see Fayal Island, which is one of the other ones. So anyway, that is where we are at. And we also use one of the other pictures here, if I have it working correctly, to show what it looks like there at the cove. And normally that cove, you would see some white water in there if it's really rough seas. This particular picture was not in rough seas when we took it. I do have some that do show the rough seas, but we'll get those out at a later date. Anyway, you can see down here some of that white water, as I was just saying. indicating that the seas are fairly rough along the edges here. You can see that, and down on the beach area, and the waves are definitely coming in pretty hard, doing their thing. And that is kind of it for there. Let's take a look at earthquakes for the area, and so far we only see one, and that is a 1.8 from 2034, and earlier when I checked there were none, so we'll make that a little bigger. There we go. So that is the only one that we see right there, 1.8. Let's take a look. That's the only one on Sao George. Let's take a look at the other ones. I'm going to refresh this screen, and we'll make that bigger again once it refreshes. But we did have several other quakes in the area, and one of them, of course, is over on Terceira, and then we have this other one down here. So 9 hours ago, 2.6 on this island, and then right there is 9 hours ago, 1.9 on Terceira, and then we've got this one here 12 minutes ago, 1.8 there on Sao George. We don't see any others in that area. And of course, looking at this, that is your mid-Atlantic ridge. If we zoom out just a little, you can see it better. And of course, that is the North American plate, Eurasian plate, and African plate down on the bottom here. And this is the East Azore fault, is what they call that one. And that runs right to about here, just before the Straits of Gibraltar, and usually we see some pretty heavy activity in this area. And of course, because these are shaped in the way they are, if we do see some big quakes over here, likely no tsunamis from them because of the slippage or direction those are kind of going. So a very, very minimal chance there for the most part. Anyway, that is what we've got in the Azores. Nothing really fantastic, but at least we know what it is doing, and we'll throw that back to normal, and we'll carry on with our next one. And of course, that is going over to Popocatépetl, and let me get on the right screen. There we go, and there we see Popocatépetl. And it had better weather before, but there were times where we actually could see it a little bit in the wee morning hours, but it wasn't doing a heck of a lot. Well, nice stars in the background, and that looked really cool, and really appreciated being able to see that this morning. And as we get closer to daybreak, we do see a little bit of puffing coming out of there, 6:44 a.m., but nothing major really. And as we carried on, we got some clouds in there as the sun came up, and of course started heating up some of that dew, and that turned a little bit on the cloudy side for a while, and we didn't see anything until about 2 hours later. There we go. And that was 9:35 a.m. Where we start seeing a little bit more of that smoke coming out of the top of Popocatépetl again. For those who need to know, this particular volcano is approximately 70 kilometers south of Mexico City, and that is pretty awesome. A little bit more of a plume here. This is about 5 hours ago, just about 11 a.m. And I'm just advancing it a little bit, and there we go. 10:53 a.m. is when it did actually have a good little burp shot out of there, and I'm just advancing it to speed things up here, but it did put out a little bit of stuff, not anything super major, but we know Popocatépetl is still puffing away, and that is kind of nice to see, kind of nice to know. And I don't know how long that went on. Not that long. There we go. And you can see the contents of that. It does look like it does have some ash in it, but I don't know what's all in there. It's not the cleanest, whitest, fluffy clouds, but definitely showing some output is, I guess, for lack of better words. In other words, it's not stagnant. It's doing something. It's better than nothing, right? And then it went quiet for another little while, and then, of course, what is it, about 12:20 or something, 12:15, and we had another one. I'm just going to try to advance that. There we go. 12:11, 12:12, yeah. And that one is a little bit darker. So there is a lot more ash and dirty material in there. The pyroclasts, tephra, etc. coming out definitely increased in veracity, if you will, as far as the content of it. So pretty cool to see that. And that one was a little bit heavier this time. So again, variable with what we're seeing come out of this volcano. But it definitely is continuing to be active, and that is pretty cool, pretty awesome. Anyway, put it back on live. There we see it is producing some of the off-gassing here, and that looks cleaner than what we were seeing in the eruption earlier. Looking at it from the other angle, no, we won't. They have commercials. And let's try looking at Fuego. Wasn't showing earlier, still not showing Fuego. Probably still in clouds. Let's see if we can skip that out. There we go. And yep, definitely clouds on that one. We could see it. Hang on there. I want to get it back to about here. There was a puff that came out about that time, and if we get it to the right spot, it should show up. There we go, starting to see it. And again, very, very dark, very dirty, very good contrast with the light, fluffy water clouds that are right beside it. So you can definitely see there's a lot of dirty, dirty stuff in there, and you don't want to be breathing that. If you're ever around a volcano, make sure you cover your mouth and nose with something, because even just using your sleeve will help you a whole bunch. You don't want to breathe any of that stuff. If there is in fact pieces of molten lava ash in there that is in a form, well, tephra of some type, what can happen is that'll be glaciated, and if you're even breathing the very small bits in, that gets stuck in the walls of your lungs, and you don't want to go there. It's not removable. Hey, Geoplanet Jane also popped in. Good to have you on board. Anyway, and that is our friend Popocatépetl down there. And let's take a look at some of the other ones, and they have to reload there. And there's Momotombo, and Momotombo definitely continuing to do its thing. We definitely see that plume and a big cloud up top. Unfortunately, these still pictures, they don't always show the best, but right now, since it is afternoon there, we can actually still see it. And interesting to see where the cutoff line is for the vegetation here. So we know this thing has been producing some lava and throwing it out, lava and ash, and definitely killing off the vegetation that is trying to grow on it. And there, that picture just updated a little bit. The plume is a lot less, and but still throwing out of the business end, definitely throwing that ash out of there. Next one on our list, still the old picture, and that is over at Messiah, also in Nicaragua. Next one is this guy here, and that is San Cristobal. And San Cristobal is again hiding in those big clouds up top here. And it's always neat in this this shot to see how these clouds are very jagged, very broken, and kind of makes a guy wonder, so what causes that? Usually you see, if there's upwelling and stuff of air, you see a fairly smooth cloud or smooth edges, and this one here is really, really making sharp edges. I'm not sure what that's all about, but that is what we see. Let's carry on here. Next volcano, and that is Merapi. Merapi is not making us happy. Merapi is hiding in the clouds once again, and if we have to go hunt for it, it's no fun. But about, what is it, 4 hours ago, something like that, 4 hours and 38 minutes ago, we did see a little bit of lava. Very, very little, and the picture quality wasn't very good at all, unfortunately. Same as usual. And let's pack up a little bit more and see if we can find anything else. And well, it was out of the clouds, that is. And yeah, that's right about here is the end of the cloud scenario. And then, we had a little bit of a time before that as well, right there. Very poor quality picture though, and prior to that it was just all volcano gray as far as the picture quality was concerned, so we'll leave that one alone. And Ruapehu, unfortunately, this is what we've got. I tried to go back earlier, and again, just still gray, and that is what we were seeing. Even earlier, it wasn't quite as bad with the rain and stuff coming down there, but that is in the wee hours of the morning. Definitely some heavy cloud cover in the area. Going to leave that on standard time here, so that is right where it is right now. That is a live picture, but we cannot see the volcano in the background at all. Moving on, Semeru. And Semeru, of course, is putting out some stuff. I can actually turn that banner off now. And they did move the cameras around a little bit, which is okay, but we see what's going on there. And of course you can see on the black and white definitely some bacon coming down the hill. A very large spot here that's actually glowing as well, and really makes a guy wonder what the heck it's doing. And looking at the shot above it, that cuts off right around here, so we're not seeing this lower portion. So from there on up is what we're seeing on this shot here, and you do see some very lava up top there. And I'm wondering, is that even moving? Hang on, let me see. That should be moving. Oh yeah, it's blinking. I guess maybe I need to go onto that page a little bit more to keep it going. We do see Mr. Flasher here, and that's been flashing for quite some time. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it might be a vehicle stuck on the hill, something wrong mechanically, and they've been going around them for hours already, as I've been noticing. Anyway, even in this shot up top here, we can see a little bit of lava, and that is always nice. I think that is this plume here, so very, very cool to see. So a little bit of bacon, and that is always nice. Impromptu disco. I heard those guys down there, they like to party, and they like their flashing lights and disco balls and things like that. So that is probably not an impromptu disco, not an incorrect statement. No, Jane, that was a car or a truck. We definitely seen it earlier, and it's been there for a while. Sasha saying party. it is party time and break time. So let's do that, you guys. I'm gonna leave it on here and let the thing flash. Maybe I will turn that banner on and put it right over top so we don't see it so much. No, that ain't gonna work. I tried. Okay, I'll leave it on here, and unless you guys want me to put it on canned lava, I'd prefer to show real stuff, but that is kind of where I'm at. Anyway, let's leave it on here, and I am going to go take that break, you guys. So all good, and thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for all of those people who have hit the like button so far. If you are new and you haven't done that yet, help us out. We are trying to get over that 100 mark, and that is where the YouTube analytics actually takes off and does well for any channel that is posting stuff. So please help us out if you haven't done so. Also, if you're new and you're sitting on the sidelines, you want to chat in the chat box and you're not subscribed yet, you do only have to be subscribed for 1 minute, and then you can get in and chat with all the wonderful people here. And I promise nobody here will bite you, at least not very hard. And on that friendly note, when we get back, we will have bacon seeds, and I don't think they'll bite either. And then we'll keep going with our stream. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes, and then we'll carry on with the stream. Keep smiling, play nice in the lava. I'll be back. And the microphone is back on. The bot is furious. and and it's snowing at Lizoid's house. Lizoid, I'm glad it's snowing there, not here. And since you are so far south, and that really makes me wonder. Thanks for the welcome backs from Scott Hartman and Sue Hayes. And that is awesome. Yeah, I'm surprised. Down in Colorado, they're getting snow. So that is a long, long ways south of me. And I'm very happy it's happening there, not here. Alba Girl, thank you for the welcome back. And I hear you from a Sharon Stewart. All good. Thanks, Sharon. Palisade, as in Colorado. Yep, that's the right one, Jane. And it is. It's bad there. Snow in the mountains last night. Oh, yep. There's snow happening in lots of places. So, 'tis that time of year for the northern hemisphere. So, higher elevation there. Yep, they are up a little, so they get that colder air. It's the same as here. You know, we're about 2,000 feet above sea level, or 700 meters roughly, and we get that colder climate. So that's what we've got. Anyway, I did promise bacon seeds, so let's go over there and we'll get at our wonderful bacon seeds for today. That was the yodeling one from yesterday, and we'll carry on after him and see what else we've got for today. And of course, we got some little cuties. This guy is peeking over the edge of the counter, going, "Hey, feed me! I'm down here." And all right, I like that little guy peeking, and very, very nice. Welcome, Sarah Miles. And next one is this, and he's telling you the what for. "Leave me alone, I'm sleeping." Don't put your finger in his mouth. He's got teeth. He'll bite you. And that is, it's either that or he's yawning. Yep, definitely got the big nostrils, ready for a snout bop and a bite. Opera star. There we go. Possible, but I don't know. I think he's complaining about sleep. It looks nice, though, and I'm actually impressed with that. That they caught him all right with his mouth open. Looks like he brushes his teeth often too, which is really good. And yeah, big yawn. Next one is this little piggy, and this one is sleeping with his little doll, and that is really nice. Good to see. He's got little nighttime booties on there, which is probably good too. And that is awesome. I like it when they have their own little piggies. Blue feet. Yep. Little socks. He's wearing socks to bed. I guess each to his own, eh? Anyway, next one is, another one sleeping with his teddy bear, and a little piggy sleeping with his pet teddy bear. That is absolutely wonderful. And baby, and this one's got a teddy bear cuddling his teddy, and it makes him happy, and that is always nice. Seems to be relaxed and sleeping very, very nicely there. Next one is this one, giving his little teddy a kiss, or is that a piggy teddy? And looks like a piggy teddy, getting a little bit of a smooch on the cheek, I think, and that is pretty cool. And of course, some pearls on her, and definitely interesting stuff for today. And last but not least of the bacon seeds, and that will be this one here. And somebody got into the pie. This little piggy needs a hogwash, and we got to work on the hogwash. And Yeah, definitely got a little bit of food. Yeah, all over. Yep, a messy piggy. Every once in a while you see one of them. They gotta be messy. That's the way it works. Could have been in a food fight. Yep. Did he find the truffle? I don't know. But I think he found everything else. If he was in a food fight, I don't know. I don't think he's the winner. Baba cream or a lemon meringue. Either or, that would be tasty, and he'll be licking his chops for a while. Get it? Licking his chops? Oh, never mind. Boy. Okay, bad pig joke. Let's have a look at some pumpkin carvings. How about that? And that was, of course, our last little bacon seed. And there we go. And all right, don't laugh. Okay, laugh. You're allowed to laugh. If you want to look at that pumpkin, you're allowed to laugh. So, chop seed, yep. And that is pretty cool. Um, when I first seen this, I had to giggle, and that is pretty awesome. It is really nice. So, originality. I mean, really, that is really awesome. Really, it is. So there you go. Robert and Chandel, welcome back. Glad to have you on board and meet our new pumpkin. My phone doesn't want what? Doesn't wait. It wants to do. Sorry about that. I can't. Oh, okay. Talking about something else. All right. No worries. And anyway, that is pretty cool. Next one is this, and let's get the other ones turned off. And that is a pretty nice looking little kitty. They did a wonderful job on that. I like the ears on top, nice touch. And of course the eyeballs and the mouth look really cool. So very, very awesome. And yep, it is a kitty. And well done for whoever the carver was on this one. And next one, and this one is a little bit different. Looks like it's a hoot of a good time. 3 owls, and they're pretty awesome looking. So, yep, I don't know who did that, but they did a fine job. And anyway, one more, and yeah, who, I don't know who. One more here, and there we go. That is 3 of them put together there. We've got the spider, we got the bat flying, and then we got the witch's cauldron, which is all very, very neat and awesome to be able to see that. That's pretty cool, you guys. So it is a Tri-Woo 2. Tri-Woo. I don't know. But yep. Very what? Interested? Okay. Talented. Yeah. Obviously, these people that are making these have to have a little bit of talent. And again, for me, what I've done before, this is absolutely phenomenal when you get right down to it. So, very, very cool to be able to see that. Anyway, let's carry on with our volcano stuff since that's what we're here to take a look at. And next one on our list is, of course, Sakurajima. And Sakurajima is a little calmer today. So far this morning I haven't seen much come out. 6:19 a.m. there in Japan. And of course that is on the southern end of Japan. We were looking for any lava that we could see in the caldera, and it wasn't smoking very much. And even this is 2:51 a.m. We weren't seeing major glows or anything like that. if we go back another hour or 2 or 3, a 107, again, nothing. A little bit of smoke coming out of it at that point in time, and it looks like it was heading right towards the camera, but still not seeing any glow there. So kind of makes me wonder if this thing has decided just to calm down for a little bit. We do see a bit from about 24 minutes after 11 p.m. The night before there, but not anything really major coming out of there at that point in time. And we go back a little bit more. There we see that it is throwing out some very dirty stuff at that point in time. That was from around 10 p.m. Last night at their time. So nothing really new to report there. Quick peek. We got both our ice cream boats in right now. So if anybody wants to run down there and get an ice cream, you go down the road there, it curves a little, and then you take a left at the lights and go down to the dock, and there you go. There's the two antennas there. You can see them in the smokestacks. And still, I got a chance to go get ice cream. So that is really cool. Quick shot looking at the close-up of the caldera there, or the crater, if you want to call it that, Sakurajima. And it is not doing a heck of a lot. And 6:21 a.m. there right now. And that is what we're seeing. So let's take a look and see if Ta'al is still on. And where'd my Ta'al go? Ta'al went off. Let's see if Ta'al is back on. We're not going to see anything at Ta'al yet. A little too early in the morning there for Ta'al. And, maybe, no, we do have a shot. All right, let's go over there. A morning shot. And we can see some off-gassing, not anywhere near as much as it was doing yesterday, but we do see it there. And of course, a beautiful sunrise happening, and that gives you a pretty good idea where we're looking. And that would be the east, of course, and very, very awesome to be able to see the sun coming up. So yeah, I guess we're facing kind of. I'm just trying to see if that is east. That would be southeast over here, and pretty cool. Anyway, there it is. There is Ta'al inside Ta'al Lake, and a little bit of off-gassing. Nothing really major. Yeah. Ease up on the emojis there, Jane. If we can stick to 5, that would be all right, and we will be okay with that, just so you know. And I think I did have that in there as emoji, just like this, just so we have that in there. Anyway, I'm not picking on you or nothing. I just moi. Yeah, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. All right. Anyway, no worries. It's okay, Jane. Just all good. I see. Yeah. Yep. No big deal. Anyway, let's try to be nice. Anyway, looking at what we see, Ta'al, not bad looking right now. Early morning hours. And let's take a look over at something a little colder. And I know you don't want cold, but I'm going to show you the cold stuff anyway. And there we go. The man down in Colorado complaining about snow. I'm sure the guys here at Yellowstone are complaining about snow as well. And it is, unfortunately, that time of the year. So we are seeing snow and snow clouds, and yep, definitely put your parkas on if you're heading out to Old Faithful today. And Sasquatch like snow. Henry, do Sasquatches change color like bunnies? I've never seen one in the wintertime. Only ones in the summer. They had dark fur. Anyway. And the buffalo, we know that they don't change color, but they get a heavier coat, which is really nice. I owned a parka when I was young. Oh, okay, cool. We have those here all the time, Sophie. Standard apparel for a winter here. For the most part. Anyway, Old Faithful, over 500, Yellowstone, I should say, over 500 active geysers, including the most famous one, Old Faithful. And then there's a few other big ones that people really know about, and that is the Beehive, and of course, what's the other one there? Oh, they're swinging the camera. We'll see what they point to this time. Steamboat is one of the other ones, and I really don't know where they're pointing right now with this one. Oh, they're moving it some more. Maybe they're going to point it at Old Faithful. Maybe not. Anyway, if you do want to get a map of the area, by all means, type in the whole Yellowstone or Jellystone, either or, and you can go to this site. They have a map of where all the locations are, plus you have this video on there as well, and then you'll be able to see where they're at and where they're going. And of course, that is Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, and that also pops into a little bit into the bottom end of Montana as well as Idaho. So that is where it is at, kind of at the junction for the three states there. Okay, moving on, and quick peek at Hawaii. Give me a sec. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. Oops. Let's get back to the right one here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I knew I was gonna sneeze. That was horrible. I don't like sneezing. Thank you. And that one caught me off guard, too. Normally I hit the button, but I was trying to cover my face at the same time, so it didn't work. It didn't work. Anyway, there you see the lovely neon-colored lights there, and of course that is the lava pond that's inside Kilauea's caldera, and of course down on this end is where the lava tube feeds this thing, and you see the lighter spots, and that is where it's draining back out. And the reason those spots are lighter is because as the lava flows downward, the gravity of course allows the gas bubbles to go back up, and they go up to the surface and pop and break the thin crusted over layers that are on that lava pond there. So that's what we're seeing. We don't see the tow area in the background at all. We're going to refresh that picture real quick, and there it is there in proper daylight. And again, a primary lava tube coming in on this end, pushing the lava in, and it makes all kinds of weird patterns in there. There's your tow area, and it doesn't look like it's getting too much fresh lava. We do see a little bit of a spot right there as far as really light materials, same with here and along this edge here. So we know that it's still draining out. We do see the extra cracks across here, and there's a crack coming down in through here, then these ones here as well. So this all this stuff on that side is susceptible to kind of breaking off eventually, and probably will in the future. And I remember this used to be across like this, and this whole corner has broken out over the last few months. So bits at a time, and very, very cool. How big is that area? The lava pond itself, I don't know. Actually, I'm being honest. I don't know the actual dimensions of it. But when you're looking at this back wall here, that's at least 3 meters down. And this is probably 2 to 3 meters down in here. That might be closer to 4 meters. So when you're looking at that, if you paste that out, and I don't know, you probably have about 200 feet by maybe 75 feet, something like that. I don't think it's a kilometer long. That's a little too big, Sophie. But I'd say at least well over a couple hundred feet. So, and the width across here, probably about 30, 40 meters. And again, I don't know. I'm guessing at this. So, we do know that this back area, this was kind of measured from the outside. They were saying that this is at least 15 feet above the regular surface area. That's not counting the depth inside, and that's a few more meters down. So this piece here by itself is sticking up about 20 feet above the surface, and that is kind of interesting. And that was from Two Pineapples when he was there. Kind of mentioned that, doing a rough guesstimate. Again, these are not 100% numbers. And yes, thanks, Sue, for reminding me it is break time, you guys. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just do the rest of these pictures real quick, and then I'm going to go take that break. So right there, primary vent, and you can see the lava pond, a bunch of other smokers still very high up on the side here. The caldera makes you wonder, same with on the back side, how much extra stuff we've got there. This, of course, is the picture from the other side of the caldera, and here we see the primary vent, and then the lava pond. Very little in that toe area from this angle. Refreshing that real quick, and you can see a rainbow across here. That's our second rainbow today. So I don't know. Is it a rainbow day? I have no idea. Anyway, primary vent there, a lava pond, Pig Island over here, and the rainbow. So number 2 rainbow, and that is pretty cool. And let's quick peek at the thermal, and that is this one here, primary vent. Little hornito there where the lava tube is actually coming through, and that's what we're seeing. And refreshing this really doesn't look any different than the earlier one, and that's what we see right there. And this picture is from 11:28 the Hawaii Standard Time, and that's what we've got. Okay, on that note, actually, let's do one more picture here. This is, of course, from 5:01 a.m. Couldn't refresh that. That is Mauna Loa, and there's what Mauna Loa looks like during the daytime. We have a UFO sitting up here. OFU Lux is sitting there. He's beaming stuff down. I'm not sure what he's doing there, but he's definitely doing some beaming. Anyway, on that friendly note, I'm going to go and, yeah, that is a huge caldera. And there we go. I'm popping over to the other one, and we will put the lava back into gear. I'm going to go take that break. Don't go away, you guys. For those people who have not yet hit that like button, help us out. We're almost there. 15 more to get to that 100 mark today. Hopefully we will get over that, and that would be really awesome. So thank you for hitting that button, and also if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing if you feel that we've earned that. Anyway, on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to go take a break, be back in about 5-6 minutes. Don't go away. Thank you. And there we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. Thank you, Sue Hayes, for the welcome back. I see you, John Shepard. Welcome. Glad to have you on board. And oink oink from Mr. Arizona Snowman. And I hear you from Sharon Stewart. Thank you. And thanks, Hermione and Albert. And awesome to be here. Okay. Anyway, we did all of our stuff. Oh, Grandma B's licking her ice creams. And I baked a brie wrapped in a puffy pastry once. It was delicious. Boy. Yeah, okay. I keep thinking, brie, my late girlfriend, and then brie cheese, of course. Yeah, all right. Well, I haven't baked any bries, but I'm sure they're delicious. Okay. Anyway, Dr. Bowling, bowing to you. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Jane. That is all cool. Anyway, let's carry on with having a look at the earthquakes out in Hawaii, of course. Out in the middle of the ocean, and we'll see what we've got there today. And of course, that is our Hawaiian Islands, Oahu over there, Maui right there, the big island of Hawaii right there. I see a straggler way out here in the water, 2.7, and that is off the coast of Kona, and that is from the 914, 24.6 kilometers down for that guy. Kind of interesting. So usually we don't see too many out there. And we'll carry on with what's going on first here in the Pahala area, and then we'll take a look at the other ones. And let's see what we got here. 2.3, and that is 12.5 kilometers down from 1645. And then we've got a 2.6, a little bit bigger, 3:35 a.m. for that guy, 36.6 kilometers down. Two stacked right together here. Let's see if we can split them apart. There we go. 2.5, and that was at 22:05 yesterday. 32.3 kilometers down. The other one was a 2.1 from today at 12:17. 32.4 kilometers down for him. One right in town here in Pahala, and that is a 1.8 from 6:20 a.m. 33.5 kilometers down for that one. This 1.8 here is from yesterday at 20:32 and 30.9 kilometers down. This 2.4, 17:37 yesterday, 30.3 kilometers down. And we'll maybe grab a couple more over here. 1.9, 14:20 was the time on that, 33 kilometers down. This guy here is 2.2. Yesterday's from 1918, 36 kilometers down. This one is from today at 11:34, 33.8 kilometers down for him. Then we've got this 2.0, 6:44 a.m., 32.8 kilometers down. This one here, 2.0 at 6:02 as well, and 34.9 kilometers down for him. That is the Pahala area. Really, I'm not that much out there. Did I get these ones in water? I don't think I did. 1:40 a.m. For this guy, a 2.0, 31 clicks down. And the other one here is a 1.9, 30 minutes after midnight, and 33.2 kilometers down. There we go. We've covered all of the Pahala area. We don't see anything else there. And nothing really up near the top of the surface, so I don't think anything major is happening there. Let's take a look up here on top of Mauna Loa, and we'll have a look at this one first. 1.9 from 12:18, and that is 33.4 kilometers up above sea level, well into the mountain, and that's almost at the top here. We'll see what these other ones are. 1.8 from yesterday, 17:15, 300 meters above sea level, 1.7. 3:11 a.m., 600 meters above sea level for that, and 2.3 yesterday's 1710 and 1.3 kilometers above sea level. And this one right on the edge of the caldera is 1.7 from yesterday as well at 2038 and 1.9 kilometers above sea level. So nothing really imminent up there, nothing really popping out yet. And let's take a look over at our Kilauea area. We don't see any new ones right in Kilauea, but we do have these two here, 2.0 and 14 minutes after 9 a.m., 28.8 kilometers down for that guy. And then we see this 1.8 from 22:55 yesterday, 28.3 kilometers down for him as well. So nothing new right in the caldera. We do have some of the older ones there. Still really no change or noticeable change in the caldera level-wise or anything like that. And just a gentle reminder, the crater floor, as you can see, it looks fairly deep in this picture. And we know that from the base of the floor in the crater to where the lava level is right now, it is approximately 144 meters, or just a little bit over 470 feet. And the actual volume within that crater of lava slash magma is around 111 million cubic meters. That equates to somewhere around about 29.2 billion gallons of lava. So fair amount sitting in there. Good thing it's not heading out anywhere. And that is it for our Hawaii stuff. Let's zoom out a little bit, take a look at the rest of the world real quick, and we'll try to kind of zoom around a little bit. I see a bigger one here, 4.1, just off the coast of, that'd be Oregon or California, very close to the border area there. So I'm going to give that one to California. And there we go. 4.1 happened at 12:16 and was 23.6 kilometers down. And it is showing a possible tsunami, but we'll take a look and see if there's anything there. It says no tsunami warning, threat, watch, or advisory for that one. So really I'm not doing anything major there. Not going to worry about him so much. Sliding down the coast a little bit, looking at what else we got. We got a 4.0 here in Panama from today at 1346, 10 kilometers down for him. A little bit bigger one here, 5.1 in Chile. They seem to be getting a lot of them in that area. That is actually yesterday's from 2008, 105.5 kilometers down for that guy. A quick zoom into New Zealand. We don't see anything new there. Nothing new in Tonga or Fiji either. Nothing new till we get over here to Papua New Guinea. We see this guy 4.5 happened at 10:20, 226 kilometers down. And then we've got a 5.1 also in Papua New Guinea from yesterday is 1753, 79.6 kilometers down for him. Then this guy 4.3 from today at 1335, 39.4 kilometers down. Let's see, this one down in the Banda Sea right near Timor-Leste, and that is 93.8 kilometers down for that 4.1 from yesterday's 1707. And then we've got this guy here 4.4, also yesterday's from 2205, 78.5 kilometers down. We have this one here, also yesterday's 5.1 from 2015, my bad, and 228.1 kilometers down for him. Not seeing anything else new in here. Sliding up a little bit, we've got a couple here, and this is the Japanese island region, and that is from today at 5:18 a.m., 518 kilometers down, and that is a 4.1 in magnitude. Then we also see this other one here on the subduction zone, 4.9 Izu Island area, and that was 14.5 kilometers down. Happened at 1409, and the northern areas of Japan 4.5. 7:01 a.m. their time, 65.7 kilometers down for it. We do have one here at the Kamchatka Peninsula area, just out in the water, 4.4, and that was from yesterday at 1824, 54.1 kilometers down for him. And let's see what else we got. Big ones here: Afghanistan or China? China 5.0. 9:06 a.m., 10 kilometers down for him. This looks like it is possibly in Iraq. No, Iran. South Iran, 4.5 and 1955, 10 kilometers down. That's from yesterday, of course. Not seeing too much else on this map. I think we're good with it. Let's have a look over at the Canary Islands. I'm going to refresh this so we have it up to date. And we'll continue on with what we're looking at here. These are older ones, and that is from the 21st. This one is also from the 20th. And then we see a newer one here, and this is, of course, from today. It is a 4.0, and that happened at 14:39 today. And it doesn't show a depth on there, but it is showing here up on the chart. It is a 1 kilometer depth, and of course that is on the East Azores fault. East Azores fault. Now let's take a look at what we're seeing in La Palma, since that is our primary area to peek at. And I'm really not sure if it's really sensible to keep looking at La Palma, since the last eruptions, of course, happened, have been over for a little while here, but the prior eruption was like 50 years before that. So is our next eruption going to be another 50 years? We keep checking this thing, and I'm wondering. Anyway, we don't see anything really too new there. Only have two new quakes. 1.4 and 4:37 a.m. For that one. It is 11 kilometers down. You can see where the little circle is there on the hill, and that is kind of neat. Next one, not too far away from it, 12 kilometers down for that guy, from 5:43 a.m., 1.9 magnitude. So pretty interesting nonetheless. And let's pop over to our volcano map. Again, I'm going to refresh it just so we have an up-to-date map, since there is timing involved in that. And we'll slide over a little bit. There we go. So we know we've got our two volcanoes in Iceland. We've got Terceira and St. George there in the Azores, and a Michael volcano down here. Looking at what else we've got, we don't see too much of a change here, and most of the ring of fire, at least not on the eastern side. Not really any change here in the Aleutian Islands. We are missing. Are we missing a volcano? No, we still have them. Okay, I couldn't see that. But yeah, our little trio is still here: Chikarachi, Ibico, and Alade, and they're still the same. Nothing new. Nishimoshima still there. Yeah, still orange. And of course we have Suwanosejima and Sakurajima as our red ones there. So really no change that I can see. Here's a change: Home Reef volcano taken from a red to a yellow. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to that's really going to hit me hard, you guys. I won't be able to sell any more real estate. The little bit of land we had there is sold out, and I should have charged more. Darn it! I'm kidding. It's not my land to sell. And if you paid, thank you. Anyway, White Owl Volcano still showing as an orange there, so all cool. And pretty much normal here in the Indonesian area. Nothing has really changed there at all. We still see everybody on the board, so and that is all good. Okay, next thing, I'm just looking at the time. Let's see if we can do the at least the SO2 map real quick. I'm going to refresh that, and then after the break we will come back and do weather. So there's our SO2 map. It is fairly current, and we see our forecast here Tuesday. There's going to be snow and rain, and I don't like that, but hey, it is that time of year. Zooming out a little bit, we can see a little bit more here in North America, and actually over in coming out of Russia as well. It's kind of pluming upward and circulating here, and getting recirculated here and taken out. There's got to be some rain falling here, making it nice and clean, and of course we are seeing most of that. That would be the Bering Sea, I guess, is what they call that area. So that's kind of trying to work on cleaning itself up, but it is getting more rain here to remove some of that SO2. And that is, of course, streaming all across Canada and portions of the United States. Looking at most of everything we have in the U.S., pretty normal stuff. The stuff from Mexico here, wind currents are bringing it up into Texas, so not so good for our Texan folks. But you can see what's going on. So Popocatépetl and Mexico City working together to make that red plume, and that is heading northward. The rest still seems to be pushing out into the Pacific, and that goes for most of what's coming, well, a portion of what's coming out of Colombia. That'd be Reventador there, and I don't know if Percy is working too hard at that, but that is part of it. Nothing really pluming off of the Galapagos Islands, and let's take a look and see what else we got. The Chilean stuff blowing back across the continent, pretty normal wind directions there for that. Looking at White Isle Volcano, extra plumage coming off of here. It doesn't know which way to go because of the circulation here. Not that much down here in Melbourne today, and we do still see this plume from the coking plants north of Sydney. Nothing major. Tofua out here in the Tonga area, definitely still throwing some SO2 out. And Vanuatu area here, Yasur still doing his thing, as well as what we see pretty normal there in Papua New Guinea. Luolatok still doing its thing. Semeru, Merapi, and Krakatau, but I don't think it's all Krakatau here. It's Jakarta as well. That's throwing out some of that. Looks like Ibu and Dakono are taking a little bit of a breather and not as bad today. And looking at what we see here, so Bulusan, Mayon, and of course Taal are the ones that are here, but we also have a lot of people pollution coming out of the Philippines, and sliding up Suwanosejima coming from this little area. And then, of course, we have Sakurajima making this area a little bit worse. And this is all human pollution in here. So that's what we see there. Sliding over a bit, pretty normal for down on the bottom here, South Africa. And then we got Central Africa here at DR Congo. And that is two volcanoes and some coking plants making all that. Urta Ale would be sitting right here, a little bit from it, and the rest is from oil refineries in Iraq and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, those places. And here is bad Etna. We haven't looked at Etna yet, and we'll take a look at that. It is definitely throwing out a lot of SO2 today, and that is maybe partially the way that wind current is going. It's not spreading it out as much. Looking at the rest of what's going on up top here, not bad at all. Very little from Iceland. We don't need any of that. Let's have a quick peek. I did make up, oh, hang on, where'd my video go? Let's load it. I did make a real quick time lapse for Etna today, so I might as well show it before I forget to show it. What's today? October 23rd. Let's see if we can find, there it is. And we'll try to get it on the screen and let it play if we can. And it is actually started to play there. It's really not that much going on there today. As you can see, the pluming. There was a local fire here somewhere, and not sure where that actually was, but you see the smoke coming in from the right-hand side. That's actually smoke from a fire. But you take a look up at the top, you can see every once in a while, you see a little bit of a puff coming out of Mount Etna in Sicily. And that, of course, has created all that SO2. And it is where it's coming from. So that is pretty much it for this portion here. And after we come back from the break, we will do the weather and get that out of the way, and that'll be it. So no, not welcome back yet. I'm going away in for a break. So yep, midnight here. Sophie, no, not midnight here. 4 p.m. here now. So yes, Pop It is coming. I gotta go, and I'm gonna just let this finish playing here. That's just about done. You see how much it did increase in kind of a smoky situation there from the backside, and the wind, of course, blowing it to the other side today, which is probably good for these people living on this side of Mount Etna. And that's it. So I'll leave that one be. I'll put you back on the canned lava for now, and unless we have something happening at Taal, maybe I'll leave you on Taal, and that would be a nice shot. It didn't look too bad this morning. So that is Taal. The sun is coming up, and makes everyone be happy. And you know, sun is rising, birds are flying by, all that stuff. Okay, enjoy that. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and I am going to go for a break before the Krakens get me. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, give it a quick shot. Thanks, guys. I'll be back. And that microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and thank you for the welcome backs from Hermione and from Sue, and also good night to who was leaving. Darn it, I missed who's leaving. Oh, I don't know. It was somebody. Somebody was leaving. I seen it, and everybody was saying good night to him. Darn it, I missed it. But anyway, that should be okay. And thanks, Alba. I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And welcome back from Alba Girl. Thank you. Cookster Littlefield left. That's who it was. I knew it was somebody that we've seen before. Cookster, if you're still listening, good night to you. And welcome, Philomena. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, we're at that point in time, thanks, John, where we are going to go over and have a look at our weather. And we'll see what our wonderful weather map is going to tell us today. And we will probably cringe as things get cold. So there we go, looking at our worldwide weather map. We do see it's horribly cold up in these places. At least they're not seeing a minus 40 something in Greenland here today. Zooming in a little bit, looking at Alaska and northern portions of Canada, fairly cold. There's a big high sitting there and not doing us any good, pushing some of that cold air down, and that seems to be fighting with this low. And I wonder if that's responsible for sending all that cold down into the U.S. And we do see a lot of it, and reports of snow, of course, in Palisades, Colorado, according to Lizoid, and there we go. But that's what we're seeing. So British Columbia, Alberta, not so warm today. Very low temps, single-digit teens or single-digit numbers down on the bottom end of the scale, and somewhere where Kananaskis country is, he's probably got -1, -2, maybe snow coming there for him. And looking over bottom end of Manitoba, a little bit warmer there from the heat being pushed up. And Ontario is nice today. They've got some lovely temperatures. Toronto coming in at 16, and that is pretty awesome. Same thing for Montreal and the northern portions of Ontario here. Getting way up in the north, though, gets a lot colder. Same thing goes for Quebec up in the northern portions. Very nice in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Getting a little cooler over in Newfoundland, but still reasonably nice temperature-wise. And Labrador area here, no good. And looking at what we've got here in the U.S., we see that massive low, and that is doing good and bad here. It's drawing down a lot of that cold. So the snow we've seen here in this area in Yellowstone, of course, is compliments of that low. And did I say hello to George Couteau? Welcome. Glad to have you on board. Western coast still holding a little bit of heat, and we get down into California. That's where it starts to warm up again. Death Valley probably not coming in very warm today. 24 degrees in Death Valley. I don't think that's an appropriate name anymore for it at that temperature. That's plenty nice. Actually, you might even have to wear a jacket or something. Mexicali coming in at 27. LA at about 21, 20 degrees thereabouts. Sliding over, looking at Phoenix, Arizona, about 25 degrees. Tucson probably about the same. Yep, 25. Looking at New Mexico on the top third here on the northwest side. Definitely a lot cooler, and then you can see where that warm air starts, and that is coming all the way through Texas and Oklahoma, going up, and gets to about South Dakota, and that's where the low is centered, and that is bringing all that warm air up for those good people, and that is even doing it for all of Arkansas here, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, you keep going here, and even Alabama for the most part, Georgia, a little bit less of that wind in Georgia. We do see some temperature returning down to Florida, which is really nice, and starting to get a little bit more moderate when we get into South Carolina. A little cooler in North Carolina, but not that bad yet. Grandma B's house, probably about 18, 19 degrees Celsius, so not so bad. And looking at Richmond, Virginia here, 14, 15 degrees. Philadelphia, 14. And we got about 12, 13 in New York, sliding up New Hampshire, Maine, and those areas. Some areas a little bit mixed with that warmer weather, but still some cold stuff sitting in here. So hopefully that'll mix through. And of course, Halifax showing some relatively not bad temperatures. They got a lot warmer than we did anyway, 13 degrees there. Sue's probably got about 13 or 14, which is a lot nicer than our weather. We could make snowmen right now. And yes, there was ice on the Bunny Water this morning. So 12 degrees, Sue, that's not bad. That's about 6 or 7 degrees warmer than here. Anyway, Cancun coming in at about 27. They got a little bit warmer than they were yesterday. We see all these different winds blowing in here, quite interesting, and we see different circulations, so possibly going to see some storms in here. We see this rotating this way and that rotating this way, kind of makes you wonder, and we see smaller rotations here, and I'm wondering if we're going to see some more stuff, storms developing over on the other side. And looking at our South American area, definitely a lot nicer there in 33, 34 in some spots in Brazil, and looking at what we've got in the jungles of Venezuela as well as Colombia. Very nice weather. Higher elevations, definitely a lot colder. Paraguay holding in some nice temperatures, and you're Bolivia here too for the most part, but higher elevations again, very quick difference between high and low elevations. We see some nicer temperatures going all the way down on the bottom end here of Argentina, which is not bad. A little bit more moderate when you get into Uruguay and along the southern coast here. Rio de Janeiro only coming in at about 21, 22, Sao Paulo about 19. I'm not going to worry about that so much. Quick peek at New Zealand. This high, of course, bringing in all that cold air and getting it down to single digits again in the bottom end of the South Island of New Zealand. Getting up in the northern end, though, we start to see the temperature rise again into mid to high teens, which is really good. And same thing goes for most of the North Island. Higher elevations, a little bit cooler, and that is this high here. That is bringing the warm air in, and this high here, of course, bringing the cold air in. And speaking of that high, it is not doing any favors for Tasmania. We are seeing single digits for the most part, but right around that 9-10 area for them in Tasmania. And Leo would be coming in at around 14 degrees Celsius. So yes, weather for Hobart. And 12 degrees Celsius there in Hobart. That's actually not bad. That's down here, right where we are, and that's pretty cool. We do see that low sitting here, and that is drawing some of that air in as well. another low off the coast up here by Brisbane, and that could be getting some rain up there. Let's take a look here. 17 in Sydney, Brisbane coming in at 21 degrees, not so bad. Home of Oz, of course. And there's another low sitting out here by Perth, and that is about 15, 16 degrees. We see a little bit warmer temps up in the northern portions, and not bad. Another high sitting up there, low on the other side. And taking a look at our Philippine, Indonesian, Malaysian areas, not bad for the most part, pretty normal. And looking at 26, 27 in Bangkok, 26 degrees, 90% relative humidity, likely raining there or sprinkling. We do see 05B, the storm in here, so the Indian coast is getting nailed, as well as Bangladesh and whatever country that was. Oh boy, Myanmar, I think, if I'm right. Anyway, sliding up a little bit more. We don't see any more storms in here right now. We do have this low here. It could turn into another typhoon or cyclone, whatever they call them over there. And looking at the weather here, the warm stuff just off the coast and Japan is quite cool for the most part, seeing what we've got there. Same thing goes for South Korea and northern portions of Japan, very, very cold. And of course, once we get up on the Kamchatka Peninsula, definitely negative temperatures for the most part. Siberia starting to get colder and colder, and seeing a minus 32 there, not surprising. Looking at India, a little bit warmer, of course, nighttime, or sorry, a little bit cooler. It's nighttime there right now. Warmer temperatures in Sri Lanka as we go down here. Looking at Madagascar, the coastal areas all still quite warm and not bad for the most part. They've got a high sitting on top of them, and that'll be all right. Looking at South Africa, a lot warmer than what we've seen as of late, 17 degrees in Cape Town. Johannesburg coming in at about 17 as well, depending on where we point, and very close. Anyway, not bad temperatures for the most part in all of Africa, even here in the Sahara Desert, not as hot as it normally gets. Cairo coming in at about 18, 19 degrees. Here in Saudi Arabia, topping out about 27 degrees right now. Same thing with, I guess, would be UAE, but actually they look a little cooler. Same thing with Oman and Yemen there. So not so warm for some of them, and Iraq, depending on where you are, from 25 down to about 16 at the very northern end. Same thing. Oh, even colder for the highlands there in Iran, away from there. Anyway, yeah, that is some warm areas, mixed weather for the most part. Looking at Spain real quick, not bad for nighttime temperatures for Portugal and Spain. We can leave that be. Very warm here in New Monkland, also known as Sardinia. And then, of course, in Sicily, again, coastal areas holding some nice temps. A little cooler in the highlands. Same thing goes for most of Italy, all the way up to Milano. Did want to check and see what Piggy's temperature is like today, showing about 19, 20 degrees Celsius for Piggy, and that's probably pretty normal. And we'll see about rain later. And looking at France, quite warm. We see that warm air blowing in, and that is Gulf Stream air or desert air. Either or, it is making its way into France and Germany, bottom portion of Denmark as well, and portions of England are holding some nice heat. A little cooler in Ireland, probably about 10 degrees for Irish Monk over there today, and looking at about the same for up in Scotland and Wales, and like I said, a little warmer in England itself. Denmark about the same as what we see in northern Germany. Well, maybe a tad cooler, but not that much. And looking at Norway, Sweden, and Finland here, they're not bad. Helsinki coming in at about 3, St. Petersburg 3, Riga coming in at 8, Stockholm is 5, Oslo is 3, and when we get down a bunch here, Copenhagen is somewhere around 11, so not bad. Looking at what we have in Iceland, still fairly cool, but not as bad as what it has been. A little bit warmer, 5 degrees Celsius, and I think it is a mix of these different air patterns here where we're actually getting some warm air being drawn in by this low, and that of course is helping to warm things up. But with the warm and cold air mixing, we always have the precipitation issue, of course, and that is what we're going to see happening there. We'll take a look at precipitation next, and here you can see kind of what's going on. Brr. And yeah, we got a bunch of snowflakes off the coast of British Columbia, along the Alaskan Panhandle, up in the Yukon, lots of snow. And we see this storm system here going all the way down into Utah. So, and Colorado getting some snow in there as well. And of course, Wyoming getting nailed with snow at Yellowstone. So that is what this low was doing, bringing lots of snow for those guys. Hopefully nothing too severe, and hopefully nobody's going to get put out by it, and everybody's ready for it, right? They all have their winter tires on and they're ready to go, right? Anyway, looking at a middle of the country here, just a little rainy area, nothing major. And then looking at the east coast, and we see looks like a fair amount of rain happening there in New York and Pennsylvania and those areas. Virginia getting some of that fresh rain. We do see some of that system. I bet you that's going to move up more. This high will probably move out, and that low will probably slide up a little bit more. We'll see what happens in the future. And here's Mexico real quick. We see some storms coming in. Not that great of weather if you are in Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan today. And that is kind of raining over there. And then going over into Caribbean, a lot of rain happening there as well. For those good folks, Central America, definitely rainforest material. Same thing goes for what we are seeing here in Venezuela and Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and a big chunk of Brazil for the most part. Some real nasty stuff off the coast here where that ridge is coming in, and that is created by this low that's way out here. This high, of course, is trying to keep the things stable, doing its thing. Then we see more moisture here in Chile, and we're not seeing any snowflakes though, which is really good for them. Sliding over and looking for New Zealand, and there is, oh boy, yeah, New Zealand sitting on the bottom here. We're seeing that shear line, and looks like there's possibly a low or a high breaking up in this position, because we have a high here, we have this high here, and that circulation is the same as a high. So what the heck is going on? Hang on. No, that's a low. It's got to be a low in here. Highs should be going this way. Lows are clockwise, highs are counterclockwise. So at least down there, and that's what we're seeing. So rest of the northern part got a couple highs there, keeping them dry. More rain there in our breadbasket area, and that's probably a good thing for them. And looking at, boy, even out here in Perth area, we do see some. And I'm surprised Brisbane is not getting piles of rain right now. It looks like Sydney is the place, and that low was drawing everything downward and saving them a little bit. And looking out here at what we're getting, Tofua and those places, Solomon Islands and that are probably getting nailed with that storm there, same as Vanuatu and New Caledonia getting nailed. And looking at what we've got here in Papua New Guinea and Indonesia, definitely getting more of that stuff. Here's that low I was talking about in the Philippine Sea, and that is definitely got potential to turn into a massive storm. Here's why we can't see the volcanoes so well, and you see all of that weather off in the coasts. And looking at Taiwan, not that bad. Thailand, Taiwan is here. And there's that nasty storm in the Indian Ocean coming up and pushing in 05B. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Further up, Japan looks like just north Tokyo and north a little bit, some rain there. See, Japan's got another system in it. And then the northern portions here. Sapporo getting some moisture as well from the looks of things. And going up to the Kamchatka Peninsula, there we go. A little bit of snow there, and Bering Sea, and we see some more Bering Strait area. Not a good, happy place to be if you're out fishing. And sliding down to the bottom end here, a little bit in Madagascar as far as rain. Doesn't look like anything too severe, and same goes for southern or South Africa down here. Once we get up a little bit more, that is the rainforest areas. Expect to see a rain there. Dry in the Sahara, dry in the Middle East area for the most part. We do see they are getting some rain here, and it would be Beirut and those areas. So Tel Aviv, Israel, and I don't think it's getting into Jordan too much, but that is what we're seeing there. And unfortunately, no rain for poor Piggy, and hopefully there will be some more coming in the future. Looking out a little bit more to the west from there, we do see a little bit in Spain. Get right out into the water. We do see that is already past the last couple of days here. It was pretty rough out there in the Azores, and that system is now past there, so hopefully it'll calm down for them. Looking at France, still on the coastal side, getting nasty there, and going up through Germany. They've got a pretty good sized thunderstorms happening there as well. And Luxembourg looks not bad, dry, but get into Belgium, a few showers, and on Holland, a lot of rain, and a lot of rain down in the southern portions of England as well, getting into Wales also, and I guess we call that central England. And then of course up in the top, Scotland getting nailed. Not so much out in Ireland right now, so Irish monk could probably go outside without an umbrella, but he's always got his hood on, so he don't know anyway. Stockholm looks like it's getting some rain there as well. And yeah, that magic four-letter word up on the top there of all three countries really, and we don't want to talk about that. We see here though, Iceland is getting some rain now, and we'll likely get a little bit more of it, some more snow as well. And that is kind of what we're seeing. Ice rain along the what do we call that, Greenland Sea area. So that is what we've got there. That low, of course, pulling that cold down. Go away low. And snow in those areas. You see a lot of snow there. Jan Mayen is right here. It's probably getting rain, and they're getting snow up in Svalbard. That is kind of it for there. Let's take a look at our coldest temp for today, and that'll be down here somewhere. Minus 66 so far. That is pretty cold. And let's see if we got anything colder than that. And we'll take a look and see. Oh, I see minus 67 in there. And where'd you go? I had you. I had a minus 67. I just got to find it again. And it was right there somewhere. Darn it. I seen it flash up there. It said minus 67. All right. Let's see if we can find another minus 67 somewhere else. Over here, 65. No. And I'm going to stick with that area here. I think minus 66. And if we zoom back in, I'm sure we can find, there it is, minus 67 degrees Celsius. There we go. All right, Sue has minus 67 C. Doc has minus 67. It is a tie. And we both win the vacation to Antarctica. And bring your penguins. And we'll be happy to feed them down there or something. I don't know. It's a tie again. Yep. That is plenty cold, you guys. I don't want colder than that. Really, I don't need colder than that. Looking at the general temperatures, you know, when you see a balmy day is minus 50 degrees C, it's not really my kind of place to go. And I always thought, you know, it'd be nice to take a look and see what it's like on all the continents. But I am getting too old to think about going to the North Pole and the South Pole. So I'm going to leave it at that. And that is it for today. I think warmer temperatures, let's see, someplace pretty safe would be maybe here. And that is inland a little bit. Hang on, they have big meteors fall in this spot. I don't know if that's a good safe place either. There's pros and cons with living in the central areas of the planet, and that's one of them, because a lot of the meteors that do come down are typically going to hit in between 33 degrees north and 33 degrees south, and that is just by virtue of where they come in. Not saying all of them come in at those angles, but or those areas, but it is pretty cold. Sasha, I've lived in Tenerife year-round if I could. Oh, I'd love to live over there. And Tenerife right now, there's Tenerife, 22, 23. It's nighttime, and beautiful temperatures, even La Palma. And you'll probably be good on La Palma for the next little while as well, since the eruption is over. Probably another 50 years before another eruption happens there. And some of the other islands are looking pretty darn nice as well. So pretty cool. All right, you guys, and I think we'll wrap it up with that. I thank everyone for being here today. We only had one super chat, and that was from Lizoid. Thank you very kindly, Lizoid, for your wonderful super chat today. I appreciate that support, and hope the show was worth it there for you. And on that friendly note, I'm going to say thanks everyone for being here. We do appreciate the support with everyone who is a member. Come to Scotland, Doctor. It's too wet there. It'll get my bald head wet. But thanks for the offer, Ray. And no worries. We'll see. And that is awesome. Let's throw us back here somewhere where we've got something going on. There we go. That, of course, will be our end for today. That is Taal volcano in the Philippines. It's a nice place to visit, and I'd love to go there one day. But that is pretty cool, and that is what we're seeing out there right now. Sun just came up, so very, very good. And you are welcome, Colin, and everyone is welcome. And thank you, everyone, for being here. You guys are all awesome. Oh, we wanted to check on the earthquakes in Iceland again one more time just to see. So let's take a quick peek there. I did say I wanted to do that. So where are we here? Earthquakes. There we go. And all right, we want to switch it back to the last, I'm going to say the last hour. And we want to see if those are coming any more shallow. And for, wow, last hour we've had quite a few. 24 earthquakes in the last hour in that one spot. So 2.7 kilometers down for that one. 5.2 for him. This is 3.5 for him. 5.2 for that one. 4.4 for that one. 4.7. 8.9, that's a lot deeper. 5.2 for that one. 0.8. Okay, we've got something going on there, guys. 0.8, what's this one? 1.7. This is 1.3. 5.2. And what about that 0? 5.2. So yeah, some of them are coming a little bit more shallow, and it is definitely something to keep your eyes on. If that does continue and increase, we got to keep a real good eye on it, because something could open up there. And only being 800 meters down in some of the places, that is definitely a lot more interesting than what it was. The 1.1 there, 800 meters down from 2205. So keep that in mind, you guys, and we will take a look and see what else we will have for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, and of course we'll be back to our regular weekday times. And that'll be all right. And on those friendly notes, again, I want to thank everyone for being here and being a part of our wonderful group. I see we did make it over that 100 mark, which is excellent. Thank you, everyone, for hitting that like button. And I also want to throw in a big thank you, well, obviously, to all the members and all the lavaliers, the whole lava family. Really, I do appreciate every one of you. Big thank you to Arizona Snowman, Piggy, CND Boy, and Gary 24/7 Liveys at Skies, Joseph Fields, and Lucas Snow. As far as the moderators doing an awesome job. Thank you, everyone. And on that note, I only got one thing left, and that is please tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000. Good night to everyone, and take care. We'll see you all tomorrow. Oink, oink.